Hello everyone, my name is Orlando Valarezo. I'm a research assistant at the Institute for Research and Technology at Comillas University, and together with Jose Pablo Chavez Avila, Johnny Rossi, Marco Baron, and Emil Hilbert, we are working on a discussion paper about local market designs for maximizing societal benefits. So this paper will be prepared within the framework of ISGAN Annex6 on power transmission and distribution system. And the paper is based on a survey related to local market designs where a number of existing local markets are reviewed. So today I would like to share the main results and conclusion of this survey. First, I will introduce the purpose and organization of the survey. Next, I will go through the different questions and show the results. Finally, some conclusions and next steps will be highlighted. Okay, let's start by looking at the survey purpose and organization. So, the main goal of this work is to exchange best practices and ideas on local electricity market designs for maximizing societal benefits. To achieve this goal, the ISGAN and CoordiNet project carried out an online survey this year. This survey is based on definitions and experiences of 19 participants from research and development projects and commercial platforms. And to analyze the results of this survey, we consider four objectives, as you can see in this slide. First, based on the survey results, we try to define the main characteristics of local markets. Another important objective is to identify what is the value of local markets. In addition, we describe the roles and responsibilities in a local market. Finally, we explore the challenges and limitations in creating a local market. Okay, this table gives an overview of the 12 questions considered in the survey, which are organized according to the four objectives that I previously mentioned. The details of these questions and the results I will explain in the second part of this presentation. Here, I'll introduce the projects considered in this research. It's good to highlight that respondents to this survey are actively involved in pioneering initiatives on local market designs. For instance, in the left side, we'll list the projects based on commercial platforms such as Nodes, Enera, Irumel, among others. Also, we consider some research projects such as CoordiNet, SmartNet, Plant One, and others in this research. So, with this information, I conclude the first part of this presentation, and the second one will focus on the questions and results of this survey. Okay, to cover the first objective, what are local markets? We collected general information of the projects through question 2. Also, we asked for a definition of local markets in question 3 and justification for the creation of these markets in question 5. Also, the services traded in these markets are reported in question 7. Regarding to question 2, about the characterization of projects for local markets, in this slide we illustrate the main characteristics of the CoordiNet project. So the principal idea is to match the size and voltage levels for each of the projects considered in the survey. As shown, the local markets include a wide range of resources, sizes, and voltage levels, which make local market diverse in scope. Okay, another important aspect to analyze regarding local markets is actually the definition of local markets. Since the challenges and needs differ between systems or regions, there is not yet any consensus on the definition of these markets or on the motivation for implementing a local market. So, in the questionnaire, project participants were asked to define a local market. Here, in general, their responses regarding this definition consists of many considerations. And to illustrate these answers, let's explore the similarities and differences between four aspects. As you can see in this table, first, we aim to understand what kind of flexibility is negotiated in the context of local markets. So the majority of respondents expressed that flexibility products are procured in the context of a local market. However, one of the participants indicated that energy flexibility products could be traded in a local market. And others didn't mention the flexibility term. Rather, they focus on the use of resources connected to local grids to provide services. Okay. Second, respect to the purpose or benefits of local markets. Almost all respondents indicated that these markets are focused on the use of flexibility to prevent congestion. Similarly, the majority state that flexibility can serve to avoid grid reinforcement or grid investments. More details will be presented in the next questions about this aspect. Okay, additionally, part of the respondents indicated the geographical area where the local market takes place. Here in general, they mentioned that a local market encloses the extension of a region in a DSO area. By contrast, a minority state that this market involves just a regional area, local energy communities, or microgrids. Finally, as you can see in the fourth aspect, some respondents highlighted the agents involved in a local market. For example, buyers, sellers, and market platforms had been identified, where the DSO is generally considered as the principal buyer in a local market. However, the TSO and other parties are also mentioned in this role. Regarding sellers, flexibility services providers and consumers were specified. In summary, to describe this market, respondents generally contemplated these four aspects: product to be traded, geographical area, purposes, and agents of the markets. Therefore, these aspects provide a framework for the definition of the local markets, which can be broadly defined as marketplaces that enable buyers and sellers to trade energy and or flexibility within a specific geographical area. Okay, regard to next question, question 5. It is about the justifications for creation of a local market. We can say that the justifications to create a local market could be diverse and depends on a specific content. Therefore, we have two tables to analyze here. In the one hand, the left side table reports reasons for alternative network development needs. Here, the majority of respondents state that increasing agility and speed to make changes in the development of demand and or production is the principal argument to create a local market. But around 80% of participants agree that the need for tailored services to be adapted to specific DSO needs is a priority. Moreover, social motivation or peer-to-peer motivations to trade electricity locally are also considered by the participants. On the other hand, the right side table reports reasons given to avoid investments in network assets. Here, a large proportion of the respondents agreed that the environmental restrictions and the high economic costs to invest in new network assets are the main justifications to create a local market. Further, some respondents highlighted the importance of urban restrictions and social opposition to build new network assets like factors to create a local market. Okay. The last question covered in the first objective of this survey is the question 7, services in local markets. This table summarizes the services in local markets identified in the different research and commercial projects. The services reported are mostly referred to congestion management and voltage control, but control island, peak reduction, and black star are also identified in a few projects. With this question, I finished the analysis of our first objective, that is, what are local markets? Okay. Moving on, I'll focus on our second objective, that is related to the value of local markets. So to analyze the value of these markets, we ask two questions. First, question 9, the respondents indicate what is the expected value of of local markets. As you can see in the bar graph, respondents see mainly benefits for the network, such as investment deferral, reduction of network costs, increased utilization of existing network assets, etc. These benefits could potentially be translated into benefits for all network users or customers. Here, 74% of the responses also think that customer engagement is increased, while only 47% see reduced environmental impact as a direct result of the local markets. In general, this question shows that local markets can bring benefits to those who participate in it, directly for the participating parties and indirectly for the producers or consumers connected to the market. This is a logical consequence of the justification of those markets in the survey, which is mainly focused on solving technical or practical network issues. However, when asking participants what the main value of the local market is, the answer shows that the majority thinks that society at large benefits in the first place more than the grid operator or the consumers inside the market, as you can see in the pie graph. It could be interpreted that society at large gains because all those who are connected to the distribution grid benefit from the existence of the local markets. The next slides cover the objective number 3, that is related to roles and responsibilities in a local market. Here we have the results of 4 questions. First, we identify the agents in a local market in question 2. Next, question 4 asks for a definition of the aggregator role. After that, we will explore the roles and responsibilities of different agents. And finally, in question 8, we will discuss briefly about the coordination between markets. In general, we note that in a local market, the traditional roles and interaction between market actors changes, while additional roles emerge, such as prosumers, aggregators, and local market operators. In the existing literature, different agents and potential roles in local markets are highlighted, including buyers, sellers, and operators. In this survey, we asked to the participants to indicate the different agents involved in the local market, so this table summarizes the roles for each of the projects. Okay, next we know that aggregators present a significant value in a local market, but the roles and responsibilities are not fully defined. In the survey, project participants were asked to provide the most important aspects to be considered when defining the aggregator role. Here, most people agree that aggregator provides a service by aggregating multiple assets within a certain local zone. In general, they follow the definition of Joseph, that mentioned aggregators accumulate flexibility from prosumers and their active demand and supply and sell it to the balancing responsibility parties, the DSO or the TSO. In addition, respondents highlighted that aggregators don't have their own physical assets, but it adds as a middleman to the market, and backed with the detailed billing, preferably on a fully automated platform. In addition, we asked about the roles and responsibilities of the DSO and market operators. For example, DSOs can have different roles and responsibilities as shown in this graph. These roles vary from traditional roles as determinants of network problems to new roles related to the procuring and activation of flexibility services or perform the qualification process, among others. Okay, on the other hand, the functions of the local market operator mainly focus on receipt bids, market clearing, or financial settlement. In this local market, additional functions that are not traditionally regarding the market operators are also performed, such as participation in the pre-qualification of the resources, activation of the flexibility, or determining their work problems. Okay. The last question regarding objective number 3 is the question 8. It is about coordination between local and existing markets. We know that different ways of coordination between these markets are possible. Discussions on how such coordination should take place have led to different proposals and coordination schemes in the existing literature. Here, this graph gives an overview of the coordination process between local and existing markets based on projects that are part of the survey. In total, we have 19 projects, and only 6 projects state that there is no coordination between these markets. The other projects all have a thorough cooperation with the TSO. The main reasons for this cooperation is to determine the common needs of the market, enable the participation of resources connecting at the DSO level. Moreover, on TSO markets, count for impacts of the system balances, active the service, determine the market clearing, perform qualification, to perform the settlement, and others. The reasons for cooperation with the wholesale market is in most cases to determine the market clearing and to perform the settlement. Okay. Okay, in this part of the presentation, I will concentrate on the objective 4 of this survey. So this section highlights a range of challenges and limitations for the development of local markets. These barriers faced by local markets could seriously obstruct their operation in the short term and inhibit the local market from being adopted more extensively. In general, the barriers are mostly in relation to technical, regulatory, economic, stakeholder-related, and environmental issues. As you can see, this bar graph illustrates the main challenges and limitations reported for creating a local market in this survey. Here, most of the respondents state that the regulation and the lack of regulatory incentives is the principal issue to create this market. In addition, more than 50% of the participants identify uncertain benefits and low customer engagement as limitation in the development of the local markets. Other barriers selected with lower respondents includes uncertainty in the level of available flexibility, market power, and high implementation costs, among others. On the other hand, we asked about how the regulatory framework supports and/or prevents the development of local markets. The answers are reporting in this graph. Here, it's evident that the larger parts of the respondents state that there are regulatory sections or sandbox that support the development of local markets. Additionally, 4 participants indicate that the local markets are not considered yet by the regulator, and 2 of them indicated that the local markets is already in place and recognized by the current regulation. Others highlighted that the financial benefits of a local market are not incentivized in the overall cost of structure. This is the last question reported in the survey. And finally, I would like to summarize the main conclusions based on the previous results. Okay, first, we can highlight that the local markets are diverse and respond to different motivations. For example, they are diverse in terms of resources, voltage levels, and geographical scope. In addition, when asked about the services traded in these markets, the majority of the initiatives reported that they focus on congestion management and voltage control. Also, other services such as control, islanding operation, and black start are reported. Another important conclusion from this survey is that a large proportion of the respondents claim that the main justifications for the creation of a local market are due to the high cost of investment in the new network assets. Also, environmental or urban constraints for network developments are reported. In addition, a significant number of participants indicate different social motivations for the development of these markets. Okay, moreover, we can conclude that the role of the different agents involved in a local market still needs to be defined, particularly of DSOs and market operators and local market operators. Also, it's important to say that the coordination between DSOs, TSOs, market operators, aggregators is in the process of being defined, and it is evaluated in the current initiatives. Okay, also one of the key conclusions of this survey is that the majority of the participants agree that the benefits of local markets are for the society as a whole. The benefits are reported mainly from network deferral and reduction of network costs, higher utilization of existing infrastructure, and higher customer engagement. Finally, we state that the implementation of local markets encounters several challenges and limitations which vary from technical, regulatory, economic, stakeholder-related, and environmental problems. Okay, regarding the next step of this research board, we're planning to include these results in a discussion paper that will be prepared within the framework of ISGAN Annex 6. So in that paper, more details and analysis will be presented. So if you had any questions or suggestions about this presentation, please let me know. I include my contact information here. Thank you so much for your attention.